Hi guys, it's Nurse Williams. A little bit of a story time for you guys. I posted a video a couple of days ago about me being in the hospital and my son finding me unresponsive last week. So I wanted to expel on that and let you guys know what happened. So last Sunday, I worked that Saturday. So I worked that Saturday before I got off at I think 12 or 1 a.m. Went home, showered, went to bed, got up for church. I do praise and worship at church, so I think I sung two church services. Got home, cooked dinner. Did like my normal routine on Sundays. Cooked dinner. My husband had some chocolate in his hand, and he offered me some chocolate. And this is key. So this is why I'm telling this part. My husband said he offered me some chocolate, and I took one bite of it and said, I don't want any more chocolate, which is not like me because I am a chocolate lover. So then I do remember that. I remember going into the living room. So we have two separate living rooms. We have one as a family room, then one as a formal living room. So I went into the formal living room, my husband said, and I told him that I was tired, so I was going to take a nap. So I went and sat on the couch in the living room and went to sleep. And I don't remember what happened after that, but this is what my husband was telling me what happened. He said my son came around there trying to wake me up, was like, mom, he was trying to show me something or whatever, and I would not move, I would not budge. He said my son came running there saying, Daddy, mommy won't wake up. So my husband said that he thought I was playing at first, so he called my mom, and he was telling my mom, like, I don't know if your daughter's playing with me or something is like definitely wrong. So my mom told him, like, no, something is probably wrong. You need to go check on her. So my husband came around there. He saw that I wasn't, responding either. So he said he kind of like picked me up a little bit, and then I wouldn't budge, and he put me back on the couch. He checked for a pulse. I did have a strong and steady pulse. At that point, he did call EMS services. He said the fire department came first, EMS came second. When the fire department came there first, they did a sternal rub twice, and I would not budge. I would not blink. I would not move. So they checked my blood pressure. Blood pressure was kind of low at first. They was about to start CPR, and then the chief walked in and said, no, she has a steady pulse. Let's just see if we can, continue to awake her. So they sternal rubbed me again the second time. Did not budge, did not move. At this time, EMS is on the way. EMS getting there. My husband said they did like this thing where they, stop, you from breathing out of your nose so that you would take a big, breath through your mouth. I would not do that. So when they put their finger to my nose, I just, would not, respond with the breath from my mouth. So they stopped doing that. They took my blood sugar. Blood sugar was 450. I have never had issues with my blood sugar at all. Diabetes do run in our family, but my blood sugar has always been perfect. So that was a little red flag for them. He said EMS tried to sternal rub me again. I would not move. When they put my finger, I did not move or budge. At this time, he said EMS is yelling to help and get me out the house, that I have to get to, to the hospital quick, because this was, they didn't know if I was in like a diabetic coma. They didn't know if I had a seizure and went to sleep. They didn't know what happened. So my husband said they rushed me out the house, put me on the stretcher, put me in the back of the ambulance, and they ran a code straight to the hospital. He said there were lights and sirens everywhere. they were going really, really fast. So the hospital they took me to, the hospital that I currently work at, PRN, which I was really thankful, because I know that all of my colleagues are there. They know me. They know, they know me. So I get to the hospital. My husband said, as soon as I came through the door where the ambulance comes in, a doctor automatically recognizes me and says, hey, she's one of us. At that point, before I can even make it to the room, the doctor's already calling out orders, to get me, this, get me that, give me this, give me that, which I am so thankful. I am so grateful to have a team like that, because they were on it. My husband said that before I could even get to my room and get off the stretcher, there were already orders put in for me, CT, MRI, and, X-ray, everything, like blood work, all this and all that. They had already, put 2 lines in me. I did not budge. So at that time, my husband said the doctors that work with me and know me they're pretty scared. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know why I wouldn't respond. So they put, 18 gauge in both ACs, and those are some big needles, but I wouldn't budge. At this point, they didn't know what happened. They were kind of calling it like, I think she may have had a seizure in her sleep. So they had EEG orders. I mean, they had like the whole nine, y'all, for me. Still to this day, only thing that they can chop it up to is serious fatigue, possible upcoming new blood sugar issues that I need to get checked out. Also, just not my body not getting the rest that it needs. EEG showed no signs of seizures. MRI was remarkable. CT, X-ray, all those things were fine. No issues. Blood work was perfect. So, thank you guys for reaching out, for all your comments, your likes, your, follow backs on all this. It was definitely a journey. My husband was so scared. My children were so scared. My 4-year-old, God, he is so smart, and I've been teaching him about emergency situations anyway. So I'm glad that he knew enough to run in and tell my husband that I was not waking up, instead of just leaving me there thinking I was asleep. Because sometimes my son would be like, "Mommy, just go to sleep. You rest. You're tired." And so I'm glad he did not. I'm glad he knew something was wrong. He went and got my husband. My husband was laying down asleep as well. So I'm glad that he alerted my husband, and that, I was taken care of. But just a huge thank you again. I am fine. I am well. Like I said, the doctors just recommend that I get rest, that I don't try to do too much. Me, I am very, hardcore. I have, a lot on my plate. I'm still in school to get my doctorate. I do teach. I do work 2 jobs. So, one PRN, 1 full-time job. So, at this time, I am taking a step back and just focusing on my full-time job in school, and kind of letting everything else ride out. And then, kind of take it from there. I don't want to ever scare my family like that again. Don't want to scare my children. And I definitely want to be here to continue to do nursing. I want to be here to continue to take care of myself and my family. So, again, thank you all for your prayers and your concerns. I am fine. I feel fine. I have not been at work in over a week. So, I feel good. And my best friend... my best friend, she worked a 12-hour shift at the hospital that we work at. Didn't even go home, y'all. She sat in the hospital with me until she knew that I was going to be okay and get transferred to another floor. I love you, girl. Thank you, Ashley. You're the best. So if she sees this, Ashley, you rock. You're the best. I love you so much. Thank you. And I'm so glad that I have you in my corner always. But again, thank you guys. Have a great day.